Hello everyone and welcome back. Poor result in Bournemouth yesterday. Still a point taken in the positive sense of things, but I felt like Newcastle did drop 2 points yesterday. But it wasn't just about that. I thought we played bad. It wasn't a good performance, especially that first half. Well, the subs changed the game, then we looked way more positive, and then we had a good game for a period of time. But even then, still conceded right at the end and got a bit fortunate because he ended up heading it onto his own elbow. But Newcastle got a look ahead now. Transfer window, 1 big week left, and it's going to completely dictate how Newcastle will play in this first half of this season. Up next, we have Forest in the Cup, the return of Sandro Tonali, which is a huge boost for us. Can't wait to see him play. I'm going to assume that he's going to start. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he's going to rejuvenate this team, and I think we need it because we've been a bit flat so far this season. But of course, that's why we are here at the transfer news. There's plenty to get into. So straight away, if you guys enjoy the content, make sure you get down there, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button you enjoy. As soon as this is uploaded, I'm heading straight across to Nottingham. You can currently guess what city I'm in at the minute in the background. But in all honesty, I had a look this morning and straight away I saw some transfer news that's just popped back up. James Trafford, Newcastle, despite everything that's happened this week, we went back in for a goalkeeper. We've already got 6 of them. And it was quite fascinating to see Newcastle's team yesterday down at Bournemouth because our selected goalkeepers was Nick Pope, Marc Guehi, Max Turner, a youngster. We didn't even bring Vlachodimos, we didn't bring Brad, we didn't bring John Ruddy. So straight away, you can assume that Brad's probably out. This is someone that wanted first team football. He's not going to get it. Newcastle. He's 35 now. I don't have any issues with him going. Vlachodimos is a sign that Eddie Howe did not even want. We've signed him because of the PSR situation with Nottingham Forest, where they needed to sell and we needed to sell. So basically, we helped each other out. So Vlachodimos is probably going to go out on loan or something like that. The fact we went back in for Trafford again is just. I mean, I'm actually not against the signing of James Trafford. I honestly think it's actually a good option for us. If we can get him for, around that £15 million mark, he is one for the future. I actually think he's a top-class goalkeeper. But we need other signs. I don't think goalkeepers are our main priority. We've already got about 6 of them. Our problem being is that, especially out wide yesterday, Gordon Murphy just were offering nothing. I thought Barnes was a game changer when he came on, but Newcastle just lacking depth out wide, and I thought we were quite poor in terms of end product, just trying to get the ball into his sack, trying to get the ball just anywhere near the goal in the first half. We just don't have any quality out wide. We need to do that. One of our players that have been linked with Marc Guehi scored a hat-trick yesterday for Chelsea. There's absolutely no chance they're selling him in this window now. So Newcastle basically need to get somebody in, realistically, who can actually sign for the club. In terms of Premier League players, I can't see any Premier League players, in all honesty. And Mbembo, I don't think Brentford will sell him after selling Tony. Sterling's on far too many wages. I mean, he's on £340,000 a week. So even if Chelsea were to half that and Newcastle was to pay 170 grand a week, that's still our highest paid player, or more or less our highest paid player, which is just mental. And I don't think Newcastle would do that. Again, Marc Guehi is not going to go at Chelsea after this unbelievable start this season. So Newcastle have kind of ran out of options, and that's a problem because who are we going to sign? I still think we need to sign a winger, and I think if we walk out of this window without signing somebody in, I can go out wide. Then I think Newcastle have screwed up a little bit. It's not something I personally felt like Newcastle should have done. I felt like bringing somebody in out wide was a key priority for us, but it just hasn't seemed to be that way. We're stuck with Marc Guehi, and we'll talk about him in a moment because there's still quite a lot coming out about him. But in terms of now, they're looking to get James Trafford in with a loan with an obligation to buy. So basically means Newcastle aren't paying his cap this season, which I actually think, you know what, fair enough. So even though you guys are probably thinking, what a strange sign that is, again, it's not coming out of Newcastle's transfer budget this summer if we were to bring him in. So I don't think it's a problem. I think that's a good thing, actually, that one. It just means that next summer we don't have to then focus on the goalkeeper and we can just move on. But James Trafford, I think, is good for the price. Young, yes. Maybe a bit like Usula, where not a massive gamble. I wouldn't say as big as a gamble as Usula was, but just a player that hasn't had much experience. So it's going to be a little bit of a, should you spend all this money on him? But the reality is, again, if James Trafford doesn't perform, you can probably sell him for a decent amount of money regardless. So I don't think Newcastle have got a bad deal on this one. I think if we get him in, loan obligation to buy £15 million, I take your hands off of it. I think it's actually a good signing. but he is not the sign that we need at this time. We'll talk about Marc Guehi first, because I think he's one of the two big ones Newcastle are trying to get in this week. Now, again, played for Crystal Palace the weekend. Again, Palace lost, and again, I thought Guehi was bad. He just doesn't seem to be there. His head seems to be out of it. And just the way he's almost saying goodbye to the fans after the game now. This is a bit different to Trippier's yesterday, because Trippier was quite brief. Newcastle fans were chanting his name, so Bruno's almost instigated. He's kind of pushed Trippier forward and have a couple of seconds with a fan. Marc Guehi himself has went around the pitch by himself, clapping the fans off. Now, straight away, that gives me indication that he personally thinks he is going to leave this week. And with Newcastle being the only team that's been reported to be in form, I still think we'll get him. I actually still think we'll get him. Now, it's dragged on for so long. There's been so much going on with this team, and there's been such a back and forth in it. But Newcastle haven't walked away. They still haven't walked away until last week of the window. They still have been in form. I think we'll get him. But that's not a guarantee. That's just my personal opinion. But the fact that this has dragged on for so long, Newcastle haven't got much alternatives to do now, because there's not enough time. Newcastle was stuck with for a couple of weeks. I think we're stuck with it more. And I think if something was to happen, it would be Newcastle bringing him in, and I like to hope in the next couple of days we get positive news about him. But I do honestly think, in my personal opinion, we've got a high chance of getting him. However, as I mentioned before, the winger's the bad option. I mean, who can we even get there? That's a bit concerning. In terms of Kieran Trippier, I want to speak about him again. Yesterday, he's had a bit of a moment with the fans there. In my video, obviously, I questioned it. Is this a potential goodbye to the fans? Now, obviously, that's not convincing answers the way he kind of comes over. Just a couple of brief seconds, maybe he's just done it anyway. However, it's been quite a lot going on in his personal life now. There has been quite a big article that came out about him yesterday, where it didn't directly name him, but it was instant relating to his personal life. The fact that, Trippier's saw the article, came and played against Bournemouth and came on as well as he did. I mean, he was quality. I actually think he's kicked Livermore out of the team if Trippier ends up staying, because I thought he was that good. And that's the sort of performance that it's almost a bit of a statement. Maybe that might be a bit of a statement that Eddie Howe was saying, well, listen, hang on, I'm not being number 2 and I can do this for you. I thought he was top draw yesterday. And if Newcastle were to keep in this window, I would not be arsed by that at all. Now, including myself, I think a lot of the fans have mistakenly said that it's his final year of the contract. Now, according to Sky Sports, he does actually have an extra year, so it's 2 more, which means that Newcastle still can have for a season, then sell him in the window at the 1-2, and then next summer I look for a replacement. I personally believe after a performance like that, he should be going nowhere, because I thought he was extremely good. He helped us get a result out of that game, and hopefully, in my personal opinion, that is not the last we have seen of Kieran Trippier, because I want him to most definitely stay after a performance like that, because he's still got a lot off of this football club. But Newcastle have a few things to iron out this week, including the likes of Kieran. Some players are still going to go out the door. I just mentioned before, the goalkeepers, I think they're more or less a certainty. Still got quite a few players floating in around the team, or just ones that aren't getting any game time at all, that Newcastle need to potentially get shot of. In terms of incomings, it looks like James Trafford, because of the fact that we can basically pay him off next season. So potentially him in. Marc Guehi, which will be up front, 65 to 70 million pounds, which is madness. And then Newcastle still need to bring an out wide option, in my personal opinion, because our attacking threat, let's say Isaac gets injured, we have got nothing. We've got Usula, Gordon and Murphy. I thought Murphy and Gordon were both atrocious yesterday. So we do need to get some attacking threat in there. Newcastle just need to kind of sort this one out. I'm not necessarily completely against Newcastle maybe trying to get Barnes on the left, Gordon on the right, and maybe get an additional option on the left in. But then again, it's not Gordon's natural position being on the right. So for me, ideally, you just want to go out and actually get someone that can play that position. But because of the fact that we've waited so long, and because of the fact that I think this window has been a bit, wouldn't say harsh, but I think it's been a bit brutal in terms of actually trying to get a player in that position, and there just hasn't been any available options. And the ones that have been available, Newcastle haven't been interested, and not interested in Chiesa, because otherwise I would have signed the guy by now, not to mention his stupidly high wages as well. So we're in a bit of a tightrope where Newcastle have got a few days to pick their targets, and then we're going to stick with those targets, because of the fact that we haven't essentially got the time anymore where you can potentially switch up options. So Newcastle got a couple of days to make their final calls, and then they've got to go in for them. Marc Guehi, especially if they are still in form with a couple of days' time, they've got to go all out and just sign the guy, because otherwise we're wasting weeks on the window and we haven't brought anyone in. So we're going to have to get that one done, I feel like. Looks like James Trafford as well, though, and potentially one more player. So Newcastle were still quite active this week. I'm expecting a few incomings, and I'm expecting Newcastle to get some players through the door, because we hadn't had a great start this season, all honesty. I think especially that Bournemouth game, we play like that every single week. I think we will get caught out. I don't think we're going to get results like that every week as well. So it's important. It is important. But I hope you guys enjoy watching anyway. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section. Heading off to Nottingham now, so there'll be an overnight stay vlog out tomorrow, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Appreciate your support as always, and thank you very much for all the kind messages as well. Obviously I've seen quite a few of them on social media. Without going into any detail about it, yeah, we're obviously going to get that sorted out, but I appreciate that. Thanks so much. We'll see you on the next one.